welcome my people today, Ladit Akera podcast, man. I've been waiting for this guy. This guy been avoiding me for like at least 3 years. But we finally got him on the podcast today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, George Okeny. What's going on, man?
What up? What up? Thanks for having me. Great, Ladit. A pleasure. I don't know how I've been avoiding you, but we can go along with that story. We can go along.
You've been avoiding me, man. You too busy. I can't catch you.
Oh please. Didn't you just come back from Europe?
Not me. Where were you at last week?
Where was I? Probably not Miami. Last week. Shit, I don't know. Where was I? Where was I?
If you can't keep up with your schedule, you think I can keep up with your schedule?
This guy, man. Thanks, brother. Thanks. I'm here, man. I'm glad to
we finally got you, man. Use a hot bullet to catch.
I mean, sometimes you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? If everybody can catch me, where would I be? Nowhere.
And that's big facts. That's big facts.
Let that sink in. I need that in bold words for people to read that.
Let that sink.
Everybody can catch me. I'll be nowhere.
No. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. How you been? How you been holding up with the pandemic? And and for you guys that do not know, George Okeny is a I don't know if he want me to call it superstar, but a superstar model that's in the face of everything. You can't miss him. You can't miss that face. But how's everything been with the pandemic, man?
Man, I think with the pandemic, everybody's kind of like in the same, limbo, the sense of us just trying to like kind of grasp even what's going on, if that's the proper, term, and just try to, go along with it. Because as you can see, even, with a busy person like yourself, we both had, the talk of going overseas, traveling, and it's like none of that is happening right now. It's just like, we trying to just go along with it,
Yeah.
I think when it comes to work-wise and just, family-wise, we're doing good, and just trying to understand that now every day that we do have, to be on this earth is a precious day.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's how I'm taking the pandemic and everything, bro.
Okay, that's good. But has there been many work?
You know what? Shout out to God, man. Your boy's working, working full time. It's like I said, it comes down to, I think the longer this virus is around, the more people are understanding the ways of going, just coping with it. I mean, I'm getting my nose poked like every other day, but I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. So it's not as busy as I could have been.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like, there's a reason for that. We all have journeys and things happen for a reason. And I'm a true believer of that, man. If it wasn't for like, this virus, a lot of stuff would have never happened. So it's kind of like where, when you're asking me, yo, where are you? Or what are you doing? You look like you're doing all this stuff every day on this earth, brother. It's one of those where I'm just like, when my time comes, they're gonna be like, man, that fool lived his life. Like he's doing it.
Right. That's
yeah. So work-wise, I've been fortunate to still be working. Shout out to new clients that I didn't have, or I honestly know I would have not had due to if the pandemic wasn't around, I would have been, working with other clients. But it's just like shout out to the ones here now that I'm gaining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So before the pandemic, what's like a day in a life with you?
Oh man. Before the pandemic, it was I think the craziest one for me when I was just like, man, I really signed up for this shit. I had it was like 3 days in LA, and then from LA I flew to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
From Canada, it was basically work to Europe. And I'm like, okay, cool. I made it to like London. Then it's just like, yo, while you're here in London, we're gonna send you out to Paris. And I'm, man. So it was like literally my days was, going to castings, usually when you go to new locations or when you're, in the fashion industry, that's how most of us, you're either getting the job like just directly booked, where it's just like the client is like, yep, we like his measurements or her measurements, and we want this guy, or you go to basically like, get checked out. It's like literally going to a job interview. So it was my daily schedule was going to castings. If I'm not going to castings, trying to stay fit, and of course taking care of Zola whenever the opportunity came. But it was just one of those where just busy. Honestly, it was a busy time back then.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy as it sounded like this is something straight out of like the biblical, BC.
I know, right? It was a scripture that was written with your name on there already. It's just coming to promise right now.
You know what I'm saying? Everything BC, like before Corona.
You know what? I like that, dog. Before Corona. I don't know how Jesus gonna feel about it, before Christ. I don't know how you gonna feel. I don't know how you gonna feel about it, but he knew it was coming, so we probably know that he know it was coming. So
you know what I'm saying? Hey,
he knew it was coming.
When in the future, when I gotta tell this to the grandkids or something, it's like, yeah, this happened in 2019 BC.
And I say, what was that?
Before Corona.
Before Corona, man. But yeah, you're still a new dad. How is that coming along? Well, you got a little bit of experience now.
Oh yeah, man. That's Zola, man. Zola, my pride and joy, man. It's honestly one of those things that it sounds crazy, but I'm like, I'm that person that's telling all my friends like, yo, just become a dad, bro. Become a dad, because you see him, he's literally like a better version of me already, like at such a young age. I get to work with my son. It's one of the craziest things ever. Very smart for his age, loving, and these are things that he's teaching me as a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like just a different side of me. Me personally. Your boy a knucklehead. Being a knucklehead. And so it's funny because most people are just like, I guess having daughters bring the soft side of them. But I feel like just kids in general will bring that, where it's just like being a dad and just having Zola, he made me tap into like, just a different plateau of who I am, to the point where when I'm even the way that I'm handling certain things is like, God dang, Can I cuss? Can I cuss?
Of course, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, shit,
Express
man.
your feelings, man.
Hey, man, I'm
We're
like,
not
God
suppressing
damn, this is
nothing.
me. This is me, like for real, just um, you know, yeah, man, that's just the thing with fatherhood. And I'm like, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. Every time that I'm with him, it seems like just that it's the gift that keeps on giving, literally.
Big facts, yeah.
Unlike diamonds or whatever people say. I heard somebody say that, so I'm like, where did I hear this from? It's like, I'm talking about it's the gift that keeps on giving, and I'm like, that's whack. It's just material stuff. This kid is literally, growing, and it's just like every day or every week or month, something new. It's like, yo, this is, a human being that, like Allah blessed us with, and he's literally here just,
Exactly. You seeing you growing up in front of you.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Big fact. So I was doing a little bit of research, right? Doing my homework as usual. And then some people usually when they get in a space where they are financially secure, they do something right away. But then I seen you held the goal that you had in heart for so long. You was gonna do it a couple of years before because I heard you speak about it, but then it did not happen. Then you had to wait again to wait for it to happen. So tell us the story of you taking your mom back home.
My man, you did your research well, I see. Yeah, man, that trip, taking mom back home, I tried to do it. I forgot, believe it or not, when was this? Like I tried to do it, I think like 2000, 2010 maybe, 2000, one of those years. I tried to do it, and man, we got the travel document, approved, and then back home, like they had like the civil war basically erupted more than it was already, and basically the United States was like, yeah, man, y'all ain't nobody flying into that, country. Literally, it's like, yo, nobody's flying into Sudan. No flight, nobody was doing it.
Right.
So that right there, it honestly, I was pissed off. I was pissed off at myself. And it was one of those where I think that was kind of like that moment that kind of just charged me up to try to become a better version of me. Because that moment, that was like after finishing high school and stuff. And my mom and I, man, we worked so hard for those,
tickets,
everything, the plane ticket,
yeah,
and also it was like where, back then financially, I was not where I'm at, and it took slaving. You know what I'm saying? We work hard to just apply for those temporarily travel document. And for people that don't know, a travel document is literally like just it's like a fake passport that you would get from the United States or wherever country you're from, and it's valid for like it's either a year, you can get it for a year, or 2 years maximum. And we dropped some money on that, and I think for me that's also what hurt. And plus that was actually what drove me a lot too was like my grandfather, he passed away, and that was like my mom. I know she's like very family oriented, and that's the way that she raised us, but it was like it was eating me up, man. I'll just say I want to do something for my mom, and I was just like it would have been an honor too to go home and be able to basically, just be there and celebrate my grandfather, because he's one of those people too that I still have like very vivid memory of him. So I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do that for mom. that didn't happen, and we were defeated. We were defeated honestly by it. It took a while for it to set in, and we just talked about it. That's what me and mom do. We talked about it. I was like, yo, you know what? God, that's how we just usually solve everything. We was like, yo, God closed the door, but it's not permanently, it's only temporarily.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been 2 years now since we went. That was 2019 is when we went.
Early 2019, way before Corona came around.
Yeah, early 2019. So I moved from Baltimore to New York to get into the fashion industry, and that was like my first. That was like that time too was like just very trippy, man, because I'm just like, yo, people dreams can come true, man. That's what I try to say. Dreams can come true. And from us talking, always I always say that, and it was like where finally, because I was getting tested, through a lot of shit. I was getting tested, in a sense of like life and some other, very personal times. I was a new dad, so it was a lot that was going on, but I finally did like my big first like job, with Ralph Lauren, with the family, and man, the first thing I did when I saw like that money, I was just like, I don't want nothing, bro. I don't want no damn car. I don't want nothing. I told my mom, I'm like, yo, I was working on it for a while. I'm like, yo, I'm applying for a travel document because I was an American citizen yet, for those who don't know, and I was like, yo, how can we get back home? It's been so, long. And every time we talk to those people back home, such and such died, this person died. And I can see it in my mom, and and then I start thinking, I'm like, damn, yo, I'm a dad now. You know what I'm saying? My son, 2 years old. I'm like, wait, he's getting older. I'm getting older. I know mom is definitely getting older. So I'm like, yo, George, if it's one thing you want to, what's the one thing you always wanted to do? And I was just like, that was take her home. So I went here, man. I'm literally just like, yo, okay, I applied. And by the grace of Allah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? We got the travel document, and I told her, I was like, yo, this is my gift. I mean, one of many gifts, inshallah, to come. But I'm like, yo, this is my gift to you as your son. I owe you the world, but this is the best I can do right now. You know what I'm saying? And man, we went home, bro, and it was like unreal. You know what I'm saying? It was unreal. A lot of like things almost made it not happen. Due to like I don't know what it is, but sometimes people just they try to do different things. I don't even know. Like one of the reasons too is just like at first they weren't trying to let us fly. Because it was just like, oh, you needed to get a visa. I'm like, come on, man. We Africans, we going back to Africa, and you need us to get a visa. And plus, I did my research because I was like, this go around. Like, hey, man, I'm like, if we can't fly, I mean, we weren't flying directly to Sudan. I'm like, okay, we're going to Uganda. If we can't get into Uganda, I'm gonna fly us to Ethiopia. If we can't get into Ethiopia, I was like, yo, this is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And we went to at the actually before boarding the flight, the guy was like, yo, you guys cannot board this flight. My mom stopped crying. I said, yo, we're not finna have this. I'm like, yo, like, cause you know what I'm saying? This is it. We were so close, and I was just like, nah, man, I need to get on that flight. I'm like, we're not finna have this. And actually, me and my mom, we prayed at the airport. she pulled me to the side. We prayed, and I told the guy, I was like, yo, listen, I'm not the most richest man in the world. I'm like, yo, what is it gonna cost for us to get on that flight? You know what I'm saying? What is it gonna cost? Let me know. I'll whatever. And we prayed on the side, and it's funny, like a few literally our prayers were answered like in seconds. The guy was like, man, let me see what I can bring. This guy came in and I talked to him. I was like, yo, listen, man, my mom hasn't seen her mom in almost 34 years.
Mm-hmm.
In 34 years, bro. And you know what I'm saying? You on this earth. I'm like, yo, we got to get on this flight. And the guy was just like, you know what? You guys go ahead, get on that flight, and whatever happens, you guys can deal with it in Uganda. I said, that's all I can ask for.
All right.
So we going, me and my mom, we hugged each other at the airport, and we couldn't believe it. When we sat on that flight, I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it. And it was unreal. It was one of those, it was honestly next to seeing Zola get born, that was the happiest day of my life when I see my grandmother and my mom just hugged. I stayed back to record the moment. I have it. It was like a few seconds of the moment.
Yeah.
And then they just start crying, and then I start crying. I was like, oh. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, phew. It's not about grandmas, bro. Don't you stop crying here in this story too. I see you over there.
I ain't gonna stop crying, dog. You ain't gonna get me. Grandma ain't gonna call and say I had a kid I was crying with.
grandma, man. I went in there. I literally, I dropped back to like just being a kid again. I mean, I'm already like that with my mom, but she it's funny because it was like my grandmother holding my mom, and then me there, she's holding like kid, and yeah, that was unreal.
Oh my God! All needed was Zola for her to be holding 3 generations, man.
That's that. Believe it or not, that's the next plan. That's the next plan, is to try to.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna try to do it again for moms, on a regular basis. But yeah, that was that trip to Uganda, man, because we went to Uganda, and then we also went back into Sudan.
Yeah,
that was a wild trip, because we went back there, and that travel document literally basically just state that we still are basically like vulnerable, because it's just like, even though it's given by the United States, we weren't U.S. citizens, so if anything would have happened to us, we were not important at all for anything. And yeah, by going home, man, I'm like, the culture, the sun, the food, I missed all of that stuff, because leaving when we left, it was like I was younger, and then just returning back as a man, seeing the village, such the identity behind the family. You see it, you will usually see that through the grandmother and the parents, and grandma holding the village down, providing water sources to the village. And I'm just like, it's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, so that's where I get it from. Or she would tell me like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The first person for me to meet that embraced my knuckleheadism. I don't even know if that's a word, but
I don't think knuckleheadism is a word. But hey, it's waiting for this moment.
Hey, y'all know what I'm saying, shit. But yeah, she embraced it, bro. She's like, listen, man, like, my son, like, I respect what you're doing, and the family was so proud of you, and I'm just like, oh man, y'all just gonna have me, turn into this monster, right? Because that was like the sense of, to see that moment happen. I think I was like, man, I can really fly, bro. As crazy as that sound. That's what I'm like, and that's the thing too. I want to teach my son is like, yo, if you want to fly, you can fly. you know, not literally jumping off of like building, but it's just like, you know, you put your mind to it, you know, you can do it. That was what that trip taught me and my mom, because since we came back, I seen the growth in her mind and also like mine. I'm like, yo, that trip was life changing. And even as crazy as it gets, like I tell people like, yo, the George that you knew prior to that, because I was saying like everything that I've been through, I'm like, yo, I honestly feel like, you know, I was reborn. I don't know if reborn, if the word, but I'll tell people like, yo, I literally died and came back a new person, you know, from that trip, from the village to that, you know, taking that. Now thinking about it, I was like, that was crazy us doing it, but taking that, you know, drive through a war zone.
Yeah,
you know, my mom and I did it for the sake of family. We wanted to see it. We never been home. We was just like, we're gonna die like this, you know. And it basically almost happened, you know. It basically almost happened where, you know, it was not easy, but it was man, we did it. And it's one of those things where, you know, when we came back to America, and it was like, whew, what can we complain about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what can I complain about? At this point, honestly, I tell people this, I'm like, sometimes you need that reality check though, because I'm like, what can I complain about? I'm like, even like, there's some things prior to then, you know, living in New York, I'm like, man, the train is delayed and all this other stuff. And I'm talking to the locals there. It's like, yeah, I got to go to school. I'm like, oh, you wake up at 5 a.m. to get ready to school? It's like, oh yeah, I got to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm like, what time school start? Oh, start at 12. But why are you waking up at 5 a.m.? Oh, so I get ready, eat breakfast, and then it takes me 3 hours walking. I'm like, hold up, player. 3 hours?
3 hours walk.
6 hours, bro, going and coming back if nobody, you know. So I'm just like, this is stuff that people need to know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Check. Yeah, we all did it, man. It's no joke.
So it was, yeah, man, that trip was just amazing.
Yeah, even when I went home back twice, I got that reality check, man. It was even when I came back to the States, it was, to be honest, there was nothing that could bother me, man. If I ain't had no money in my bank account tomorrow, I know in America I have some type of way of where I can make money. But back home, people don't even know what a bank account is.
Nope.
Some people just look, man, I know I need to go get these crops, bring it to the market, make some money. That's my food for the day. Or pick and choose what you're gonna eat for the day. It's either you're gonna eat breakfast, they're gonna last you till the next day. You're gonna have lunch for food, whatever it is, or dinner. You have to pick and choose which one you want to eat, because the circumstance that they got over there versus what we have over there, it's crazy. And I think like for people like us, where we get to see two totally different worlds, where one world, even though, let me put it in a way that people won't get upset, even though Black people in America, we still privileged versus to our people back home. They ain't got that privilege. No. You know, you wake up anytime, you can, if you got a degree and you can't get a salary job that you want to make you 60,000, you can apply and get a job at McDonald's. That's still money in your pocket. You can still put food on the table. But back home, some people with degrees, they still have to farm. They still have to live with their mother, with their grandmother. So,
oh yeah, that's
it's a reality check that, like I said, when I went back home 2015, for the past 6 years, I ain't complaining about shit, and I ain't going to complain about nothing, because I know how privileged I am here and what I can get and what I can't get. So definitely, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's that mentality where I'm just like, you know, we have options here. That's the part, basically what we both are saying is just like the options here is unlimited, you know? And those people too, the thing that I learned from them too is just like the mentality of getting it. And I was so proud of like my cousins and those people, because, you know, they got degrees. Nobody was able to find a job in that field. But, you know, this person, one cousin started he got his a cab business. Another person got a clothing shop. and the next person. And I'm just like, yo, would y'all look at that? You know, my grandmother, so she has like at the village, she's the one that I was like, this lady, man, like, yo, I was obsessed like with my mom already being a mama's boy, but my grandmother, she just took it to the next level. Cause I'm like, the money that I was sending her, she will, you know, use it for what she needs for like other family members and stuff. But then what she can save, she'll save it and she'll buy like crops and whatever. She grew literally enough rice, beans to feed the family for like a whole 3 years.
Oh, man. Wow.
Then because these are food that never go bad, right?
Yeah.
And then what she'll do is whatever she grows, she give it to those who need it. And then also in the back of the house, there's a like the water wheel, right? To provide water for the villages. This lady, that's why I'm like, man, it's funny to me, but I'm like, yo, she's supposed to be charging the people, some people for the water so she can have some income coming from it.
Yeah.
But she'll be like, you know, they'll come and be like, oh, you miss, I don't have any money. She goes, okay, you see that rock over there, or you see that tree over there that fell? It's like, yeah, go pick that tree and just go put it over there by the trash. And then you do that and you get all the water you need.
All the water you need. Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, this lady, man, she just seems like, you know, I don't want to say Mother Teresa because I feel like she's above that. It's like, she just seems so angelic, you know, and just such a cool, you know, person, man. I'm like, you know, I feel like the whole world should know about like her and just how she's moving. But it's just like she's hustling, is in the sense of like, you know, well, farming. Imagine 70 plus years and you're still farming, you know, going strong. And then she also managed to build the house, a separate house compared to the one she was at, you know. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, one thing about y'all here, y'all got it, is in the sense of, you know, the hustling mentality. And me and my mom looked at each other. Then we started I'm like, we came to America. I'm like, what did we do? You know what I'm saying? I was looking at my mom, I'm like, what did we do? You know, but I took that into like, not in a bad way, but I told my mom, I was like, you know what? Shout out to that trip, because we definitely tapped into like another level, you know, here we are. I think we were so comfortable, even like for me, because I'm just like, at the time too, you know, I told you I did like my first big job, and I think I was, that trip basically humbled me, because I was like, at first I was just like, you know, man, when I come back, you know, they're gonna know about me, you know. This is keeping it real. I'm like, I've been so humble for a long time. My time has come, man. I'm a stunt hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have Gucci this, you know, Louis that. I came back and I was just like, I honestly haven't cared about nothing. Not to sound like that, but I'm like, you're not finna, you know, impress me with nothing. I'm like, impress me by what you do for other people.
Other people.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was like such a huge life-changing thing. And even like me and my mom tell today, like when we talk, like I talked to her 2 days ago, and it was just like, you know, our relationship even have, I say, gotten way much better from that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's something crazy. If let me put it in a way where other people can understand, you know, for us that come here to America, our people back home look at us like, okay, you guys have made it. You guys have a better lives. You guys have, like you said, more option. So some families, without asking, we already know. But then some families would ask, like, you know, help me out with something so we can at least keep our lives going. You know, we can look out for people. Some family would be like, okay, Georgie is sending me money, so this money is just coming to my family. Versus your grandmother mentality is, nah, I'm everybody Abuba. You know, I'm everybody grandmother. My grandson and my daughter is sending me something, so I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to grow crops for everybody. I'm going to have a water system that if you don't have any money, just do something, a little job, show you a little gratitude, and you can still get some water. So that mentality is crazy, where she's open to help everybody, versus other families. When you have family in America and they send you money, you just keeping it to yourself. Like, no, it's all about me. It's 4 of us. We can only keep it for the 4 of us. And so I think, the way you guys have been blessing her, that blessing is literally coming right back to you, coming right back to mom, and coming right back to everybody in the family. So that's pretty dope,